1893. It's 43 years since I started the game. All those young people walking the streets in 1853 are old now. I have no idea how long this game keeps its NPCs going. It's quite possible they're just spawned for a specific action and vanish, but I like to think that they're people living in these towns for their entire lives, despite the absence of cemeteries or anything like that. So those young people are old now. There are new people who are young, people that have never seen 1853 and have no idea how it used to look. The towns have grown. This one is, I know I've just been zooming in and out in a terrible way. Here's Shanklin. Shanklin is quite big. I think they're all quite big. We've got a lot more vehicles. In 1893, England was actually in an economic slump at this time, but it had some money coming in, and there's a wider range of inventions. This being a beautiful alternative world, there's no wars. So all of those nasty things that happened in real life don't happen here. I mean, there's not even night. It's a beautiful place where everybody can just live comfortably. The game has become a little bit less sleepy. I am still using a mix of horse-drawn vehicles. Horse-drawn vehicles are pretty much everywhere. So I've got these same wagons from 1850, I've got these ones, and I've got these ones. So there's all three of those right here. Industries are, well, just producing the way they were, really, because it's the same number of vehicles. I've managed to connect a whole lot more industries, and I have increased some of my fleets, just so it's taking more, which means there's a little bit of production going on. I haven't connected all the industries by any means. I am nowhere close to that. I'm servicing most of the towns now, I think, and the ones that I am servicing are responding. Farnham is looking more major. Here is our town area. Looking kind of urban in a country Australian town way. Nice big buildings. Got this gorgeous cliff overlooking the town. But apart from that, honestly, a town at this point looks much like it did 20 years ago and 40 years ago. Just a bit more of it. Farnham is a little bigger. I'm still using stagecoaches. They're kind of superseded by some very low-end steam vehicles, but honestly the stagecoaches are so much quieter, so much more pleasant, and they can take 4 passengers while the later ones take 5, so like they're still viable. I think they're more viable, honestly. They're not really helping much. Like, look at the number of people I've got over here. What can I do? I know I can put more on, and I think I've done that in a couple of places. I've just increased the number of them. 4 passengers at a time is not enough capacity. The streets are, this street in particular is starting to look like a proper thriving town. This is quite a lot of people. They're beautifully patient, just hanging around waiting until they can get picked up. No thought of going home or just giving up. We've got exactly the same industries, and I don't think that really changes. It's just the size. They are bigger, the chimneys are taller. That's happening all over the place too. And I do think they have spread out. My town circuit is covering that area, so I have a lot on the outskirts that are not getting reached that way, and a lot of them are brand new buildings or very recent buildings. That's the principal way that I figure out if a town has increased. I just look at my circuit, because I try to have my circuit covering the majority of... It's fascinating. Covering like the outskirts of town, and it's not. At the moment it's not. I've got a bus depot here. This is something I have started doing, is putting not just bus stops around, but having a starting and end point for my buses. So that's my bus depot, my main one. That is where I bring my interstate coaches through to as well. I will come to that point. And my town circuit will start and stop there. So yes, I'm getting a bit of a system going here with some things. I'm not really meeting their needs properly even yet. I've been focused on the rural side. I enjoy the rural side of this game. It's got a bit of a build up there. Yes, because we've got a vehicle that can go faster than my two trucks, who is very patiently waiting. My headcanon is that drives them mad. They start complaining after a while if they're trying to use the roads and my company trucks are too slow for them. So I feel like it's better for my company's reputation if I can keep them a little less obstructive. I've no idea if the game takes that into account. I sort of think it should. Yeah, that one's barely getting going. Not enough ore. That's so often the way. As before, 20 years ago, I had a build-up of coal and not enough ore. Still the case. I've got a bit of ore coming in, but not enough. Not enough anywhere. And it's coming from down there, and it's still a long, circuitous route with slow vehicles. So, where was I? I'm still more focused on rural than on city. There's just... it's so spread out, and there is so much to connect yet. Newland is utterly stable at 150, which is quite a small size. This is a new road, and I've started doing this too. I have these windy wobbly ones, and they're not perfectly convenient, so where I can, I've begun to put in a completely straight road, and I can do that because I'm getting a bit of money and I've begun to pay back my loan. So my loan has returned to 6 million, which I know that's still pretty high, but it's better than it was. Not much change out here. I have vehicles coming and collecting things. The triangles like this, they're nearly always mine, me just cutting across to make it a more direct path for them. This, whoops, sorry, I'm doing this a lot just to see where I am. This road through the mountain was a lot of fun. Got a couple here of this other type of cart. Same technology as always, which does do the hills a bit better. It slows down to 5 rather than 4, rather than 3. But it's still very slow, it's still cumbersome. It's a bit dippy. A little dippy. Whoa. Easy. Oh, that one's a nasty one. That one is such a nasty one. But it's still operating, so while it's happening, I'm leaving it be. It's working. That's all it needs to do. I still have these beautiful horse-drawn wagons that I like so much that can only do 18 kilometres an hour at the best of time. Well, this isn't actually one of them, this is one of the newer ones, but this is... thanks, are fantastic. But I still have them. I still have all on different roads. I've got... let's find one of the old ones. No, the new one's here. I know I've got them. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's a bear. It's name him? What can we call this bear? Roscoe. Roscoe the bear. Let's get into his head while he's running. Gosh, he can jump those stones like he's a squirrel. Why is he running? And how far does he run? Is he happy running? Is he just going to run forever? Look, he comes to a halt here. Where are we going? We're just going to wander happily. Let's see what he's... Oh, he's wandering. That's exactly what he is doing. He wanders. There's nobody around to intimidate him and or for him to intimidate. He's a gentle bear. He's just happy moving around in the forest, not caring about the world that's going on elsewhere. I'm a bit too high. Try and sit down. Oh my goodness, that's a bit freaky. Where is he going? Oh no, oh no, oh no. You didn't just walk through that tree, did you? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's leave the bear behind. Goodbye, Roscoe. Have a nice life. I was looking for trucks. I just look at this and I'm itching to put a road across there just to streamline this because it makes such a difference. The more directly they can travel, the better it is for everybody. Here is one of my original carts that I still like so much. Yep. I don't know where this one's going. But even though the roads are the same and the vehicles are the same, it's busier. I've got more of them on the road and there's also more private traffic. So in 1850, you could trundle down these roads at a slow pace and never run into anybody else. But now in 1893, there just seems to be more population. Which is partly my doing. I've increased my fleets of trucks. As I should be. That's what you do in this game. Anyway, I've got a few other things I want to talk about for this one, for 1893. We are moving into the modern world in this map. We are getting more motorised vehicles or steam-driven vehicles on the world. We have horseless trucks. And they are amazing. They have such a lovely little engine. They're such a pleasant ride. They travel from memory, they go up to a speed of 25 k's, they take 5 items and they scarcely slow down when they reach a hill. Now, yeah, it's not really much good, is it, when they get stuck behind a vehicle like this. Okay, they still slow down a little bit on a corner, but they can take it much faster than the original horse-drawn vehicles. And they have revolutionised some of my lines. They're very, very handy, especially on the hilly roads because they handle it with ease. So yeah, I like them. I like these very much. I feel like you can't go wrong with a vehicle like this. I haven't put many of them on yet. He's going to come up behind these. Admittedly, they're going slow because we're going uphill, but this is the issue. Unless you change all the vehicles on the same route, you do lose that benefit of speed. You never know, they might turn off before he reaches them. Another thing I've done here, I've started being a little more individual with the names of the places. So this one's going to Amberley Shanklin Machines. I don't like just the, like, Shanklin's a city or a town at this point, and I don't like just having Shanklin Central and Upper Shanklin and Shanklin Annex and Shanklin Sidings and Shanklin Bus/Tram stop, all the different things that throws in automatically just to differentiate the different truck stops in the same region. So since you can change them, I've been starting to. I try to keep something in the name that gives a clue as to where it is, which is why this one's Amberley Shanklin. But a couple of them I've sort of put a surname company, like I think I've got a Thompson and Sons fuel company somewhere up near Tadcaster from memory. If they're near the river, I've often put something bank in their name so that I know they're near the river, but it doesn't sound just like the town. Because this is England. England was very imaginative with their place names. They were very descriptive. It's just done pretty well, actually. Like those ones in front are far enough in front that it's taking a while to catch up. It looks to me like it's another of these trucks that got stuck behind a strong cart. It's a beautiful thing. A country road is fantastic. And I'm really enjoying it because I have a feeling that, like in 100 years' time, I've seen videos of people doing the game in 100 years' time, and it doesn't look like this. It doesn't have this old world feel to it. So I don't know. This might be where it's going. Oh, this is where they're all going. Just imagine what it'd be like here. You'd get here and probably you'd stop for a chat and have a coffee with all the fellow drivers from the other rounds. They're all my employees, so they're all company workers of the same company. So let's have a look. 29,951. He came in a little bit in arrears because of the maintenance, but that kicks him over. So he's doing all right now. It seems like there's always an imbalance with one of these places that needs two different materials. I can always get plenty of one thing, but rarely plenty of them both. Anyway, I've got a few other things I want to talk about. I've built a bit. I've built a boat. I have a port. I initially put it here to go somewhere a long way downriver, but it just didn't work out. Now I have my ship travelling just across the river, but it's a really wide bay, and it's proven very helpful. I've got plastics coming over here to be transported to the goods factory, and goods being returned across the river to be distributed to towns over on that side. A boat is an incredible thing. Carrying goods back and forth. Great boat, great trip. He's doing alright, but he's not actually taking full loads, so while he's not taking full loads, this is sufficient. He's very slow, but I don't think the available upgrades are any faster, so I may as well stick with him. So that's all he's doing. He's going back and forward, and he's doing quite well for me. My town, Kidderminster, which was down here, has been renamed to Kayminster now. Just because I didn't really like the name of Kidderminster. It took me a while to do it, but I did it. They've got these vehicles, the steam-driven buses, which I don't like, but they work. kilometres an hour is as fast as it goes. But it gives them a bus run. Southwell has greater capacity for its public transport route than I'm servicing. It's got these terrible little things. Industry change. Ooh, wow. Might be almost the tallest chimneys yet. Yeah, industry is expanding here. Things are happening in Southwell. My rural areas still look quite rural. It's still sleepy. It's still quiet. There's a lot of bird song. It takes a long time to get anywhere. Over here, I've connected everything. I've got vehicles going everywhere. I haven't made many changes to roads themselves. This is a road that the game put in. It was here from the start. It's quite a lovely windy country road. These guys have a long way to travel to take this ore and the coal. There's a coal mine that other trucks are taking from. I know, I'm the only one that could possibly enjoy spending ages with a cart like this, trundling up a country road, listening to the birds and the wind in the trees. I do like it though. I think it's a fantastic part of the game. Anyway, I won't stick with him because there's a lot to talk about. I've learned a few things about truck stops now, about how to set them up, where to put them, because you can put them next to or across the road, or this is one that I did quite early on, and like you can see, these guys have to come down here and all the way past the industry to get to it. In my newer ones where I put it in, I would put the truck stop over here, but early on, firstly I didn't know, but also I didn't have the money. Where it's positioned costs different amounts, so I was trying it all over to find the cheapest price I could get just to get the industry started. But at some point I might just start shifting them. It's going to happen much faster if it was up here. It's just one of those things I've learned about the game in the last little while of playing. So moving up further, I have put a bridge here because there was no way across. So since I had this farm with its road here, I've just extended it. I had a road going down here somewhere. I had this street coming out here and I have connected it up basically. It's a very popular road. Everybody is using it. It looks from here as if it's just my trucks, but it's actually not. I have seen other civilian traffic taking that bridge. And I think that's been good for whatever this town is, Dover, because Dover is growing too. Dover is... My town circuit is adequate, but I suspect I've only done that recently. I haven't got any in the CBD, which perhaps is an error, but I feel like they can walk. At this point, I'm just making sure there's basic coverage. They can get from home to work, and if they really want to go shopping, they just need to walk a street up into the middle. But that's not bad. I have a depot. I might have said this last time. I was just formulating that system in the last video, but now I keep a depot here which has the inter-town stagecoaches and the local bus service, which means that if you come in from another town, you can get off the bus here and get straight onto the city circuit and get much closer to where you're going. And it seems to be very popular. People are using it. This town has, yep, they've got stagecoaches as well. Okay, this is where it all changes. I've got trains. That is my biggest difference between 1873 and 1893. This is Elland. Elland has, wow. I didn't realise how much Elland had come along. Check it out. these people living in these big buildings. It's cool the way you can spy on them and see what they're doing, where they're all going. Oh, he'll be there for hours. So I've still got these steam buses, which I don't like. I don't like the sound they make. It looks like people are talking. Honestly, that does look like they're just chatting to a camera. I hope they can. I hope the engine's not too loud. Oh dear, I haven't been maintaining my coaches, and that's looking rather old and shabby. But I'm not going to do it now. There are different levels of maintenance you can give things, and I do like to keep the town vehicles to a high level of maintenance, but looks like I missed that one. It does happen sometimes. So anyway, having gotten distracted by the town here, I will introduce my engines. I have Tool Troubadour, which is taking tools. This one is... let's see, go into these sidings. There it is. Very nice train. Maximum speed of 50 kilometres an hour. Carrying 20 tools. And it feels really fast when you get used to just driving around. He's just getting to the other end, to the tool factory where they're the tools were. I might just stick on board with him while he drops back, because train lines are cool, and this brings us into the modern world quite a bit more. So once you're at this end of the world where I seem to be doing most of my work lately, I don't know why that is. Steam trains seem much more in 1890s. So I'll just stick with you for a minute. Trains in 1890, this is a top standard train. We can go right inside, we can see the driver, spin of view. We're not seeing much inside the carriages, but train has boxcars because it's taking tools. And it filled up, which is excellent. That's what we want. What I do is, or what I've done, because I've got, what, 3 trains now, I think? I'll have a look in a minute. I put on just a few cargo cars, and then if it does fill up, then I'll add another one, and I'll just keep adding, because every car costs. So I don't really want to have a train that's running half empty. It's kind of cool when it goes beside a road like this. 50 k's an hour is so much faster than any other form of transport you've done by this point, something else I have started doing, is painting my trucks and cars. You can pick the colour they're going to be, and these old wagons, the colour only shows up on the skirting board sort of rim, but I have coloured everything according to their load. I haven't quite settled on my colours for everything, but I've made food is light green because, you know, leafy green vegetables and stuff, and health and everything. Wood is either brown or dark green. I did make it brown, but I'm starting to think dark green, and planks will be brown. Ore is orange, coal is black, oil, well, coal is dark grey and oil is black. So I haven't, it looks like I'm going to stop. It worries me something. So I've begun to do that. I haven't coloured all the old ones. I've just sort of, as I build new ones now, I'm starting to do that. And passenger transport in general is blue, light blue. Any blue, you know, mostly. This is quite a long run. When you just zoom out and scroll up, it doesn't seem to be this far from those movie towns, but it is. That's what we see. So I'm not going to stick with this train any longer. I don't think. I would like to get one going, but at the same time, I don't think I'm going to be bothered. I had quite some fun building this train now. There's a horse and cart being held up by my steamer, which is trundling slowly along, but it doesn't need a rest the way it just do, so I don't know, maybe it's a useful thing to have there. Can you go along with this in 1893? Here's a station. I don't know if this is the one like after, not. Looks like this is a bypass lane. Oh, there is a town. So I will stick with it because we're coming into a town. I'm not sure if we're, yes, we're taking tools into the world. So let's see, that's the town where I've got. Well, I would have. So we're in the way. Hello. We're coming toward. Here is our destination. So this train is barely staying profitable, mostly because of the length of the track. It's bringing tools a long way, and 50 k's is much faster than any truck can go, but it's still a long way. It's a long journey. So the other one, ah yes, Log Lord is another train that I've got. Log Lord is purple. I built him before I devised my system. Here's my driver looking awfully similar to the other one. Maybe they're brothers. I would explain that after the magical families go into the same family. From memory, Log Lord has a much shorter run, and he's carrying. He's empty at the moment, but this is the sort of rail truck we need to carry logs, and that is what he's got. If he turns up soon enough, I will stick with him while he goes over the bridge, because railroad bridges are fun. I know the other one did it too. I think in the last 5 years I've been very much occupied with the trains, with setting up the lines. I've tried not to put the lines where they're going to interfere with roads too much, and I really don't like crossings. I feel like, I don't know, that just doesn't seem safe. But you can't avoid it completely. So here we go, we are coming up to the bridge, 50 k's an hour, which when I built my first train, it just felt like I was flying, and now it doesn't. Going there to load up. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking coming up to a road crossing, but they handle it fine. Wait. I'm sure they hear the trains coming a long way away. Okay, so is that all? Tipton, no different to ever. A lot of people waiting here, the Tipton Shanklin stagecoach. I have upgraded, I now have these dreadful little vehicles. And they have helped deal with the demand for service. I only think they're dreadful because I don't like the sound of it. I like the leaves sitting here and there. And I guess nobody has to sit on the roof, so maybe they're happy with that. It's just so slow. I'm sure if they're sitting there with a good book, they're dealing with that. Having another deep, meaningful conversation, which I like to think they are. Shildon, I've put rail bridges in. For the station, I've just got a single platform here and a single station building. Oh, I've got Fast Fire. Fast Fire is a lovely train. Fast Fire takes fuel. That was one of my colour coding, is it's red for fuel. So he's got tanker trucks and a couple of boxcars for some food. Has a very long run and he is stopping and picking up all along the way. He's an amazingly profitable train, very much. Oh, I must have another line because there is one of my brand new railway bridges. What a marvellous piece of engineering that is. Look at the workmanship that's gone into that. So where are we coming into? Bronstone. Bronstone town has grown because I don't think I've put in those roads. I might have seen some of the outer roads, but generally speaking, it has expanded them itself, which it does. If it thinks the town's grown enough, it will just tack on an extra road all the time. Right, so we're stopping here, and I don't know why, because we're completely empty. We don't need to go on with it. I want to know, oh yes, I have a passenger train. I actually forgot that I had it in operation. It's quite new, quite new. So this train is the Wisp. And where is the Wisp? The Wisp is currently at Shildon, loading up. Look at that station, look at those underground things. I don't quite know where they're going actually, but maybe out to the platform. When I built my railway stations, you can just see it over in the distance, I put a bus depot next to each one so that you can get off the passenger train and hop on a bus or a stagecoach or whatever it is. So this train, let's see, has its driver like they all do. And in here we have carriages. Now the carriages on this train are a bit hard to look at because they're very small and they've each got their own door that goes out. Whoops. Look at that view. Imagine being in that train looking out at that. Isn't that excellent? That's another rail bridge, I suppose. Not quite see what. Yes, that's another rail bridge. So yes, everybody has their own very private little compartment. It takes quite a few people this train. They're nice characters. I like them anyway. Kind of uncomfortable seats. You'd have to bring your own cushion, but what a journey! What a view! What windows it has! So every time I'm on a train and I see one of these bridges now, and I'm thinking, what's that line? I need to go on that line. Anyway, this train is one person short of being full. So it's obviously a line in demand. Oh, did I even do this? Did I even show what it looks like? It's got that sort of blue because blue is for passenger. Oh, a tunnel. There I was leaving the train behind. We've got a railway tunnel. I know this seems like I'm all over the place, and I am, but I had a list of things that I wanted to talk about, and if by chance they happen to show up in the wrong order, then I'm going with them. So I did want to come into a railway tunnel in this one, since I've built a few of these now. But it looks, it's a marvellous moment when you come out of the tunnel at this end. You can just see, it's like a portal to another world. You don't know quite what you're going to see scenery-wise. Since that's it, I'll get to the top of the crest and I will leave this train behind. I'll just get up here and see what the view is. Oh, so we're going over one of these nice railway bridges. But they look really spectacular from below. You can't really see what you're going over when you're on the train, but I'm pretty sure we were on, was it Log Lord down there on that one, looking up at this particular railway bridge. I've only got small passenger stations in each town. They're grand enough. Like the basic design in the game is quite a charming station, and it looks like a fair size. So I will leave the Wisp there. I'm just curious about what else I've got going. Nothing waiting there. Whoops, ignore that. Braunston Town. Got the train line. Got the freight line. Got people waiting at the train line. The train is... I wonder if I can get a view from him. It's a long way from town. Like, I do have a bus coming here, but you're basically leaving town to go to the train station, which I just had to do it that way. Like, it was too expensive to put a station closer to town for them. And my theory is that the town will grow, and eventually that's going to be fairly central anyway. I'm not sure where they're going to set up their CBD, maybe down here. But like, that's not too far. They've got a bus. People are using the bus. People are coming out to meet the train. And it's a new line. Demand is starting to build up. Still got quite a few of these, even though those other fancy little trucks have come in. And I did like the trucks. I think over this decade I did a lot of switching out. My company changed up the horse and carts for the trucks, but if it was a profitable run, I just left it like this. despite us being in 1893 with the elderly Queen Victoria, and it's quite rural. I have the Wisp and I have the Shimmer. Here's the Shimmer, a beautiful train, quite new. It's got the same engine and carriages as the others, but it's absolutely my latest line. Very, very new run. And it's bringing people from Tadcaster, although it's going the other way at the moment. So I'm not going to stick with it because I actually want to go to Tadcaster. Tadcaster has grown into, like, I would nearly call this a small city. It's not a large town, very much a city. So I don't know why. I know that sounds odd, but like it's getting a tiny speck of fuel, I presume from Fast Fire. No, it does not have a freight station, so fuel must be, food is being trucked in, but not successfully. I am very curious about that, how far away they are. I suspect they've been travelling for months and months and months. 351, okay, so that's one of them. So they're going through my tunnel on their very, it's a good thing these guys aren't depending on, because they'd starve to death if they were. So who's bringing, I have loading zones that I've put in the city. So this loading zone, oh, there you go, he's just delivered food right this minute. So that will change. Yes, it's saying 10% food now because he's delivered, and the town will love that. It might, if we're really lucky, we might actually see some growth. It's saying it's stable, but all it takes is something like that, and it just might begin to expand. Oh, we've got these. These are included. I don't know what to think about these. I guess they're an advantage over the steam bus. Like, it looks more like a real car. It's very small. It's only, well, it says it's a 6-seater, but I guess there's 2 people who sit. No, it's on the exhaust. I don't know. That one puzzles me. It says a 6-seater, but I cannot see how 6 people can fit in there at all. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see how they do it. So I guess these 4 women, having got off the bus, are heading to the train. Oh my gosh, look at all that. It's just like splattering into the air. It's so cute. Colour-wise, it's cute. Just going to watch them cross the road. Won't let me get any closer. So yep, they're heading off. Who is that? I missed clicking on them, didn't I? Okay, Bethany Thompson, where are you going? I'm just going on the train. It's a functional system, that's all I need. I would like to see another town upgrade, but you've really got to be lucky to like look in the right place and catch those things happening. My thought is that there's been growth down this side. I have fairly recently updated the public transport line, but I think there was more forest over here, so I think as houses are getting built further out, that's removing all the trees that we were seeing before. Oh, excellent. There was 2 at once. Got to make a decision which one I'm going to look at. So what's it doing? Nice. Yeah, see, that already, that is pushing the forest back bit by bit as houses develop. Are we still, no, we're going down. Oh no, did that reduce? It doesn't matter. They go up, they go down all the time. So I think if I go into my statistics, oh wow, I've got a lot of trains. We've looked at Tool Troubadour, the Wisp, Shimmer, Stone. Well, let's have a look here. Princely Planker is taking place. There he is. Very, well, moderately profitable train, but that's all I need of them right now. If they're profitable and, like, if they're not in debt, even if they're only just in debt, that's okay. And they're taking goods to somewhere and keeping another industry kicking over, then they're doing fantastic stuff. It's all they need to do. This one has a huge line, really. The other one that I really will talk about is over here. So I don't know if in my last video and in the first one too, I went to this area of the world and I was saying how I wanted to sort out this route. The road is windy, it goes through the hills. I think we might have done a bit of this journey with them. I've still got exactly the same tracks on it. 40 years on, they are still trudging the same road, bringing coal and ore to the steelworks that's over the hill. And to assist them, because the steelworks wasn't really getting enough to do anything, I put on the train. So here is my train. It's going to both these stops. It is picking up, when I say both, I know there's three. It is picking up ore and coal and taking them both to the steelworks. So because of that, where are you? Because of that, I was going to say, as it's coloured as an ore train, but it's not. It also, for some reason, has two engines. Okay, I didn't know that, but that gives it double power, right? I don't mind. That's fine. And it's called Coal Aura because it's taking both coal and ore. It has been very, very handy. This is a really slow end of the track for some reason. It speeds up at the other side. Well, at least they're not alone. Like, they can take it in turns having breaks, right? I'm sure they're doing that. I'm sure that makes perfect sense. It was an accident on my part. I think because initially I was going to have two trains. I was going to have one going to the ore place and one going to the coal place. But I changed my mind. That's why I've got the two lines, so that they can go down one side and up the other. But it didn't work out. Like, for some reason they just won't use that bit. I'm still figuring it out. Signals are complicated. I sort of think I understand signals. I think I do, but I'm not sure if I do. And I've only got one down here because I planned for one train to go down to ore and then it was going to go past and then the other train would only come into the coal. But in the end I just had one train because money ran out, which maybe is because I accidentally put two engines on the one. Oh well, I could fix that now if I want, because look at that income that's building up there. So that is my big difference in 1893. I have trains, I have those updated buses that I can't even remember where I saw them. The trains are beginning to make a difference for me. We've got a little bit of passenger transport going up on the north side there, like rail transport. Poor Wainfleet, All Saints. I have scarcely even looked at the place, done nothing. It's got its town circuit, which is adequate, quite adequate. Marlborough, still got that beautiful road going past the cliffs. I think it's still only my vehicles using it. Nobody else wants to take the chance on a road that rugged. But isn't it beautiful? It's still one of the best ever. We've got a slow vehicle holding people up here, I can see. Yes, this is one of my older trucks holding up. Very, very nice things. But they're sharing the roads with the much older vehicles. And it's not only me that's got some of the older vehicles, there's a lot of private people in the town that still have horse and carts. But yep, 25 k's an hour, and they hardly slow down on the hills. That's the big difference for these. 5 k's an hour faster, but the real difference is they hit these hills. It has to be a really steep hill to slow them down, and then it only slows them down a few kilometres. I will leave it there because really it's more of the same. On the verge, that's it. It is on the verge of massive change. And now I'll get back to playing. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's my road, so what on earth was there before? Maybe this actually just connected to there. Anyway, I have started to do that. I have started to put roads in where it makes sense. I've now switched that port to, I've put a port over here and my boat is now carting goods between those two, getting stuff from that chemical factory over there, so the goods factory is now beginning to work. I'm just wondering where the town is that I put my road across. I've got a town somewhere. Surely it's not Broadstone. It must be Meltham. It must be Meltham that I'm going to build a bridge across. Maybe I just haven't done that yet. Somewhere it just looked to me like it was the perfect position to do it. Anyway, that's... I've thrown myself out. I think I got round, didn't I? I looked at Dover, which is growing so nicely. I looked at Elland. Elland is the very last town. Elland is doing well too. Starting to meet up with demand. Horse and carts are starting to seem like old-fashioned vehicles, but they're still predominantly the mode of transport, and even all the private individuals are still using horse and carts. We haven't got motorised vehicles much, and you've got those odd steam trucks, and we've got the new little trucks with a motor, so they're just appearing, but we're not seeing cars on the road yet in 1893. It's still very quiet and trundling. And that is all my towns. I've put a road over here now, and my mountain road, which is quite the arduous task for these guys, and quite an expensive road to build. But I needed it badly. And I think I've done something similar. Maybe it's here that I did it. No, this was an original road. It's just a really cool original road. I have put this road across here to cut out all of that so that these guys can go direct. Done that in a few places. This is another example of, well, no, actually this one I think is my continuation. One was original, one is mine. And over here, yes, I have now connected a road along there. This one's still quite isolated. I've just straightened a bit here. I haven't done anything from there. Just beginning to sort out those little tweaks. So that's it for 1893.